This is Bridge Road. Technically, it would have been E4 because Boundary Road indicates the difference between E17 and E4. However, there are parts of E17 beyond Boundary Road. Let's have a look at this. This is amazing. Look at that. Mallards there. Look, two ducks and a drake there. This is what I said, the water quality here on the Daggenham Brook. Daggers, the daggy, whatever you want to call it. Up here, look, you can see it's been dredged quite recently, although it hasn't been dredged out fully. Yeah, but it is quite healthy in parts. This is the thing, and I've seen ducks on here. Whether it falls into an official waterway, you know, I'm not entirely sure, but ducks always indicate, ducks will not sit on crappy oil spills, and they don't let, you know, further on down, and yet they do here. That's very, very healthy. As I said, the Dag is a runoff stream, due to quite a lot of things. It's a very intelligent, smartly thought stream that goes brook that goes well beyond the Victorian engineering purposes and caters for open sewerage like they do still in, I think, Pakistan, India, Indonesia. You have open sewers, and if you want to go to the toilet, you know, I'm not being funny or racist, but you crap outside, whether you're male or female, and the stuff comes down here, like we saw from the Romanian footage today, where they actually have a runoff inside their tent. Now, as you come down here, as I said, fluvial floodplain there, very smartly thought out. This is going back decades. This is pre-Victorian. That Daggenham Brook there probably goes back to the 17th century at least, yeah, if not the 16th. I don't know the start, because I don't have the earliest maps showing the earliest runoff, right? But you can forget Wiki, forget everything else really, because it's got nothing to, it was in hundreds of years before the flood relief channel, so you can certainly forget that, although some of it exists today, but it's not really partial. As we get down here, as again, we're flat now, coming down from there, slight downhill, then we're flat, it's fluvial, yeah? We come down here and then we see the other one as previously filmed, right? Now, what's really important here is this in there is all, and it always struck me as being a little bit funny. It really did. Well, I guess they're intelligent enough to close it if there's a flooding problem. Undertake a dynamic risk assessment and apply the control measures following the operational instructions. Caution. Right, we're now in the lower marshes now. There's the upper marshes and the lower marshes from here. It's flat. Now what happens here is, this is drainage, as I said, going back hundreds of years. Now in here, you've got a flood storage area which comes off low-haul Victorian sewer works, which had a lot of sediment and contaminated water. So you had beds over there. This is before you get to Leighton Sewer Works. This is actually Walthamstow Sewer Works. So here, they would all have, there's a serious holding tank up there, holding area up there. And then, as I said before, not only do the willows give the game away, it means it's really, really old, but also the fact that you've got building plots and the Victorian homes stop on floodplains means, you know, sort of giving a subtle statement. So here you've got a trash grill, you've got a slight build up of stuff, not amazing really, it looks like work's been done there satisfactorily, but what happens here is really interesting because it then drains off that way, comes out here, yeah, and then what this is after the holding area, which is behind Walthamstow Council, and the new, what you would call the new flood tanks, storm tanks, You then have a huge holding area up there, which is actually marked off as in Google Maps as Lee Valley Park. But there's no way of getting to it. And then what happens here, and this is way even before Victorian, you're talking a couple of hundred years ago at least. Yeah, what happens here is that this, I know that was put in latterly, but here what happens is this area here acts as a soak-away bed. So the runoffs hold there. Don't forget there would have been wood, if not nothing, even not gravel, ballast, stones in the past. Yeah, you can tell by the again the willows and the trees there. Come down here, and then it's supposed to go that way, right? As I said, the last Victorian house is built there, yeah, for a reason, because they came in afterwards. They learnt from what they saw, and then they did their own stuff. So we're in the apartments here now. Now that technically should be an entire soak-away for what was used to be Essex. We're right on the border between Walthamstow and Chingford, right? Catering for the settlement of the holding storage area up there, which is actually massive. That's after where the storage tanks were put in. Yeah, and as I said, look at that. There, you can see the trees there, how old they are. I mean, fair credit, some willows grow really quickly. The different types grow a lot slower. I've been in there. Behind there, you've got the storage area. Isn't this amazing? This goes back hundreds of years, and we're still using the same principle. Look at that. You know, look at that. There's a little bit of blank land there, not used for anything. Somebody said, "Oh, I'd love to build on that." You could get not only could you get a house on there, you could get a tower up there. You could build 16 stories on there. But look at that. That's oily. That should have been dredged. Yeah. And that goes down that way. And as I said, there's so many bits and pieces on these plans, right? Whether it's Filly Brook, non-Filly Brook, Daggenham Brook, you know, whatever. It's just so many bits and pieces that were put in over the years. Most of it is being culverted. This is very important here. Yeah, you can see the last time they cleared that off. The dag doesn't actually look that bad, and to be honest with you, down there they know, look at that, but they're still not taking the waste away. So when it floods, the waste, look at that, the waste still flows back into the thing. It's a bit like Railscape, really. Railscape, one of the subbies of Goblin. They clear the stuff, but they're not allowed to take it away due to health and safety. That's an old tree, I can tell you that. Why don't we get planning permission for that one? So what you have here is you have the Daggenham Brook there, and then you have a lower one as we enter the lower marshes going back hundreds and hundreds of years. That's looking a bit oily, but remember the ducks as it gets cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. And let's not forget, there is a there is a sluice that they were intelligent enough to put in when they, and this is quite key here if anybody is interested in this, when they diverted the Walthamstow Daggenham Brook because of the flood relief channel, because don't forget the flood relief, the reservoirs in Walthamstow were boundaried by the Daggenham Brook. Yeah, when they diverted the Daggenham Brook to put in the flood relief channel, the Daggenham Brook was then channelized. But they were intelligent enough to put in emergency sluices there, and you could actually cut the Daggenham Brook off completely if you wanted to in several spots, at least one spot. Yeah. But the other thing is on the border there, Douglas Air Sports Field, the reservoir originally before the flood channel was put in, actually they couldn't build the reservoirs any larger because of the Daggenham Brook, which is exactly getting back to where we are now. Yeah, and it can be very healthy. So let's not forget that this can be tapped off completely. If an engineer knew, I don't even know if they knew about it, but if an engineer went in there tonight, he could tap this off completely. With those ducts, this is the major worry. Look, it's looking a bit crap there, but let's hope the ducts are still here. Yeah, the ducts are still here. So if they were to turn that off and just use this for drainage, like grease lightning style flood. Oh, there's a nice exotic bird fly through there. You might have to look at that again. That blue one flying through there, just then. But the ducks are still here, which means if you were to turn this off and sluice it, then all of this wildlife would go. This is a survey of the Daggenham Brook, January 2018.